everyone, and welcome to the last, the final, the finish line, the finale, the finito, the I'm done, the we over it day of the 7-day discipline challenge. And I just want to give, if I had the sound effects for round of applause, I would be playing it right now. I don't know if my producer has it, but hey, Joe. Round of applause. I'm giving everybody the round of applause for making it through. 7 days of discipline has not been easy, my friends and family. And I just want to, again, give you a standing ovation. But we know how these camera things work. We're just going to keep it here from here on up. Yes, 7 days that you committed to work on improving your discipline. I know when I started this challenge and I announced it, it was because God had told me I needed more discipline. And I'll be the first to admit that sometimes, you know, I don't like to do the things I need to do. Sometimes I get confused about where I need to go or the direction. And sometimes I'll just feel tired. But I am celebrating myself today for completing this task because it was not an easy one. And I really, really, really hope that in these days that you have taken some time with and for yourself to get yourself in order, to get some understanding, to not beat yourself up, but to get some clarity around what it takes for you to discipline to not only complete the tasks and challenges that you have for this year, but for any goal you set moving forward. So I see some people in the comments. Tell me who's here. Hey, Lena. Hey, Joe. Welcome. Thank you. I know I'm not going to talk long today, y'all. I'm telling y'all, yesterday we had a fantastic day of just worship and rest. We got a good word from who was it? Tessetsa was on there. She talked to us about the commitments to our word. Lena was on there and she talked about the tools that we need to fight and go through our goals. And then the final finisher was Kaisha, who told us, hey, get moving, get into action, get implementing. And in all of this, that's what we want. That's what we desire. That's what I desire, is that if you're stuck, if you're in a place that you didn't know, that you get moving, that we get going, that we get some clarity and we get moving. So I just want to pull out a couple of the points. If you're in the chat, as a matter of fact, I would love to see what are some of your biggest takeaways. So just flood the chat right now with what your biggest takeaway was for the 7 days. It doesn't matter if you made day 1 and day 3, but you didn't make 2 and 4. What was the takeaway from the days that you were here? Because we're going to focus on the good that you do and not focus on what you didn't, right? We're going to focus ourselves today on what we accomplished. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. Discipline wasn't built in a day. I wasn't built in a day. You weren't built in a day. So let's celebrate and focus on the things that we did do well. So what are your biggest takeaways? I know we have a few people in here. Please just go ahead and highlight. Don't be shy. And if you have more than one, that's great. Make more than one message. And not while we're doing that, I'm just going to highlight. Okay, Joe said discipline is not about being perfect, but flexibility. Yes, and now you're more consistent. So Joe, how did that? So you said you're now more consistent. So you've noticed in the 7 days that you were able to up your level of consistency because you were able to take the idea of perfection out of it. Is that what I'm seeing? That's what I say. Consistent movement and action. Yes. Tambu says reviewing your goals with a priority. So instead of having all the goals sitting there, literally listing the ones and figuring out which ones you need to keep. So we said what do we need to edit? Which goals we need to edit, which means revise, fix, change around, add something, subtract something. Which goals you need to exchange, which means it needs to get out of here and a new goal needs to come in because this is an expired, invalid goal for what you're trying to do. And which ones you need to execute. Let's go. Let's get started. Let's make it happen. That, I think that's a fantastic point, because again, we're out here with things sitting on our plate that we don't need to have on our plate. It's like, as a matter of fact, when I just said that, I got the vision of a dinner plate. It might have been one of those Thanksgiving plates, and your grandma fixed it and she put everything on there. And right there in that corner, there's some cream peas, right? And you know, grandma's not going to let you get up from the table without finishing your food. So you push everything around, you touch everything else except for the cream peas. You snatch everything off, and grandma says you got to eat the cream peas. So we eat it last, we eat it while we grimace. We want to throw up, but we got to get it done, right? So the cream peas in your life. And for all those who love cream peas, good, great. But you understand what I'm saying. See, perfecting was torture and caused you to freeze up. Yes, perfectionism will give us analysis paralysis, because we will be doing the most hyper-focused, vigilant view of one part, trying to make it right, trying to make it look like other people make it look, trying to do it like other people do it. And we'll be frozen because we're trying to figure out what's the end right. I know that I've been there before, and sometimes it still happens to me now, right? If I don't implement and apply these tools and techniques, I get frozen too, right? And what I want all of us to understand is, to be stuck is not a bad thing. To be stuck and not take action to become unstuck, that's where your challenge lies, right? And each of us has our own walk and our own things that we need to heal from. So let's make sure that we're healing individually and not trying to heal according to other people's standards or what we believe other things should look like, right? So I'm just going to pull out a couple of, oh, wait a minute. We got another comment. Okay. So Tambu said, incremental discipline. Insightful to know that I can execute the big picture with focus, breathing sometimes, waiting and seeing it through. One elephant bite size until there's no elephant in the room. I love that. That is such a beautiful way to put. I know a lot of statements that I made. That's a beautiful way to put it all together. How do we eat an elephant, everybody? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. And that was one of the carryover conversations that I had every day, is that we need to do things incrementally. We may have a big goal and we become overwhelmed because we have this big goal and we don't know what to do, but we need to start to get clarity about the small little things that we need to do to build up to make it happen. Okay. I'm just looking at the comments. So let me see. I had so many notes on here. It was crazy. So I'm just trying to look at ones that actually were my favorite. The definitely edit, exchange, or execute is one of my favorites. Figure out what we have in front of us. You can't do anything if you don't have it identified. If you don't identify what's happening, you won't do it. So after we got foundational things laid, we went into disciplining our mind, right? A lot of us have emotional issues. Some of us have some mental issues. We have belief systems. We have ways of being and thinking that are not serving us. And if we don't take the time to get it into place, then our mind will run away with us. We have to understand that as we think, then so it is, right? But the key factor to all the things in our discipline is literally our emotions are one of the most damaging parts of our ability to discipline, because we keep treating our feelings like they're facts, and feelings are not facts. Feelings are not facts, and they can actually get you real messed up if we don't call them to heal. Emotions that go unchecked will lead you to harbor and to nurture mindsets and seeds of ideas that are not true. I'm not enough. I don't have enough. That's not for me. All of these things, and not having self-restraint and control of our emotions. When we feel like anger is just who we are, or when we feel like sadness is just who we are. Nobody here is Ziggy. You're not Winnie the Pooh. You don't have to be a character that's stuck in an idea about you. You have every power to reset and change the mindset that you're carrying if you take the steps to discipline it, to put them in order, and to call them out and be able to prioritize your thoughts, right? The fourth day, disciplining our body. I know some of us thought I was just going to come in and talk about what we eat. And on this day, we learned that our eyes have a diet, our ears have a diet, our mouth sometimes need to be on a diet. Say la and say less. That's what we need to do. I think the acronym that I used on that day was WAIT. Why am I talking? When we enforce discipline into our body members, then again, this is a step in helping to manage emotions. This is a step in getting our body in control, because now our eyes are focused on what we need to have them focused on and not glancing off to the side, not looking with covetousness or jealousy or envy or anger or whatever it is that your eyes are seeing, right? Through social media or through visualizing and seeing other people's things. Disciplining our ears. What diet of our ears? What are we hearing? What is penetrating our psyche by what we're listening to? And sometimes our own words that we hear ourselves speaking are the worst words that are polluting our environment and making our environments toxic. And then, of course, disciplining our mouth. We got to think before we speak. Wait. Yeah, Jonisha, I got the design. Yes, it's coming up on the shop soon. Say la and say less. It is. It's coming. I already designed it. So say la and say less. Breathe and be quiet. That might be the other one. Breathe and be quiet. Say la and say less. Breathe and be quiet. Say la and say less. You first one on the list. I got you, Joe. So when we are able to think about these things, get them in order, then we will find our ability to discipline falling and making it easier. It becomes easier. And the last discipline I had was discipline of our spirit. Getting ourselves into a space of meditation, a space of prayer, a space of relationship with God, so that we can hear clearly. And a secret is obedience. Obedience automatically will make you disciplined. Because when we're being obedient to our assignments, we're being obedient to our edicts, our purpose, our design. We have to follow certain disciplines in order to make things happen and get it done. Choosing goals, analyzing. I mean, yes, obedience breeds discipline. Like I said, I'm not going to talk long, y'all, but I just want everyone to know that this challenge is a stepping stone. And what comes after? So you're asking yourself, what comes after? Yesterday, Kaisha talked to us about turning information into implementation. We got a bunch of information. Now we have to move forward. How do we implement it? Well, for those of you who know, again, I'm an author, a best-selling author of this book, Dear Leader. This is my personal copy. Don't judge me. It is well worn. I have notes and everything in it. So beginning to get information about your personal ID, your identification, is a step so that you can begin to move as a more well-oiled machine. The thing that I do is I am a strategist and accountability coach. So I help people to get into position to do the things that they have been here assigned to do. So the people that I consult and I coach, oftentimes they are successful at everything that they've touched, But when you go behind the scenes, there's some discrepancies, right? There might be a work-life balance issue. There might be a relationship and work balance. There might be an emotion and mental state balance. There might be a finances and shopping and spending habits balance. Whatever it is, one of my gifts is helping to find the lie, but also to help to develop the strategy to move people from stuck position, to move people from emotional distress, to move people from being in places where they're confused or not ready, to help them transition into their next level. So I work with people one-on-one in that way. I don't work with a lot of people one-on-one because it is taxing, but I do have that availability for those who are interested. Now, the easiest step and the next step that I'm offering today is my masterclass. I have a 7-week in masterclass intensive that the next one starts in January. Now, during these 7 weeks, we work on your identity. We talk about who you serve. We talk about the things that influence the decisions that you make. We talk about your voice, your gifts, and your talents. We get you real clear about steps that it takes to move forward. And we will find the things that are hindering and causing you issues. Now, does it solve all of your problems? Does it make you, is it a fix-all class? No, it is not. But I promise you, it is a firm grounding for anything that you want to do. It will change your life. It will change your outlook, and it will change your walk towards your goals and towards your destinies. So I'm having the next class in January, starting January the 11th. And so for those of you who've been involved in this challenge, I'm going to give you a special offer in order to take the class. But before I get to that, I, of course, want to let you all know that there are 2 scholarships that I'm giving out for people who've been in this challenge to attend the class. And then I have a couple books to give out, and I think one more thing to give. But before I do that, I'm going to invite in some people who have actually experienced my courses and who have experienced working with me one-on-one, and to allow them to give you a little feedback on how that is. So my first guest is Tambu Muzenda. She is in South Africa, and she actually was a member of my first international masterclass. Tambu is a high functioning leader. She's an executive as well as a producer and a nonprofit charitable organization creator. So she's got a lot going on. And Tambu, just give us a word on how the masterclass worked for you, or what effect it was. But before we get to the masterclass, tell me what you got from the challenge.
So what I got from the challenge, good evening, everybody. Good morning from wherever you are across the world. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for this opportunity. I want to just really say I took so much, and for me, it gave me energy. It's such a time in the year we actually don't have as much energy, but I'm so energized, and I know I'm going to be able to do a couple of the challenges that I had. One that I'm actually going to undertake. One of them was writing my book and just finalizing that. So that's what I'm taking away, that discipline really is so important, and it's just keep trying, just keep doing, because you can. Yeah.
Now, I just want to ask a quick question. I didn't prompt you with this one before, but you're an executive. You're used to schedules and SMART goals. So you've had these tools. Like, tell us, just if you can briefly, the difference between the tools that you had and how this shifted from SMART goals and calendar settings and reminders that you have.
I think the way the masterclass has taken shape, or the challenge rather, is that it you are planning according to where you are, who you are. So it's not extended outside of yourself. The teaching allows you to actually go, hey, that's what I want to do. And the tools accessible. They're not outside of yourself. So you're talking about something that you want to do, and the tools are there. So the questions that are prompted for you, it just becomes so much more practical. So it's not something that is out there. And I think we're afraid of calendars and this whole big work plan. And I think just what we have learned in the challenge is so much simpler, and it's practical stuff. It's really practical stuff, easy to do.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that it helped you that way. And so I want to transition um, into you were in the first international masterclass. And so you're a high level executive. And I know we had some pretty high functioning people in that class. I think one of the people in the class like goes on rescue missions and saves people in foreign countries. Like it was an intense class. And we had pastors and ministers, and we had a dean of university. So we've had some pretty eclectic and different diverse students. So how was the master class for you in that setting?
Oh my goodness. It was you rightly to say it was intense, because I think as leaders, we shy away from maybe speaking out or whatever. And what that masterclass did for me, it allowed for, I think, my identity as a leader, because that was most important for me, to be able to say, what do I identify with? Who do I identify with? And what do I want to do as a leader and stand for it? So that's the truth. That's actually, a leader has to stand for their truth. And I think you just have to really be willing to teach, to be teachable, but at the same time be able to say, hey, that's who I am about, and I appreciate that, and I want to be. And for me, that was the biggest lesson. Identity is so important in the things that we're doing as leaders. Identity, your true identity. I'm not talking about your passport. I'm talking about something inner, what you believe you want to do, what really ticks your heart, what makes you sleep at night. Maybe sometimes not, but something that is deep in your heart, and I want to do that. That's what I took away from that masterclass. Yeah.
Thank you. And so one last question. Um, what has been a tangible transition in your life that you are able to see since you took the master class?
I'm able to answer to my values. I'm able to do what I believe is what I should do. You don't call my name at a different space and I answer. I'm focused, and that's one thing that I take my head for the masterclass. Okay, I take my head off for it, because I think a lot of the times you get swayed. You run along to something calls, there you go, or something calls, there you go. But understanding my purpose and understanding my assignment really, really through the masterclass made me aware of myself, aware of what I'm doing, aware of how far I want to go. And just building up, it's something that you do. I mean, you have to practice that, building up on everything that you're doing around you, and doing it with love. Yeah, you gotta love what you do, your passion, right?
All right. How's that manifesto?
Wow. So I went through the manifesto, and what I wrote about my truth, about my identity, and why I exist is actually a reality today. I mean, I need another hour, okay? Because I can tell you that out of that, I subsequently met with people who are aligned to what I wanted to do within my manifesto, the work that I want to do with different partners. And so that actually, I can see it. It's actually come to life. You remind me, I'll go back again, because that would be a very good place to also review and see what else has come up that I didn't put up out of this challenge that I actually just had now. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Tambu. I really, really appreciate you. I enjoy the fact that you were able to see results from taking the master class. Would you suggest it? Would you suggest people to take it?
I would suggest people to take it, not just to think about it, take it. It will change your life. If you in a position of leadership, because everybody is, and you want to grow, you want to get a better understanding of how to shift, how to navigate stuff, this is the best place. This is a great masterclass. Simple to do, really hard work. I think make it intentional for yourself and gift yourself the masterclass to do it. It will change your life. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope Tosetso has load shedding, but I hope that you have a good rest of your evening. Thank you for coming on and sharing your experience with us.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Feather.
All right, guys. So that's one person who is live in living color in person who has taken the steps. They've invested in themselves. They've invested their time. They've invested their money in order to move forward with overcoming obstacles and hurdles that were keeping them stuck as a high functioning as a leader. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter if you're just figuring it out or if you're, running a corporation. We all get stuck. We all have blind spots. We all need checkpoints and balances to help keep us moving forward, to keep us encouraged, to keep us, clear and help us to get clarity around things that just pop up. So that was Tambu in South Africa. And as you can see, this work is global. It's international. This is not just for us here in the States. Wherever you are in the world, all of us could use a little bit more discipline. So I'm going to bring up my next guest, which is Pietra. She's in Atlanta here in the States. And she also has taken, I'm messing up stuff. She also has taken the masterclass, the last one that I just had at the end of the year. Hi, Pete.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. Good to be here.
Thank you for showing up, beautiful.
Absolutely.
We're going to get right into it because, again, I value time and I appreciate you being here. What was your takeaways from the challenge?
Wow. I definitely needed the challenge. It was incredibly tough for me. I tend to keep my word for others, but not myself. So going into this challenge, I had to really fight that spirit of procrastination. And I think what I did was I used it as a competition. I was like, you know what? All right. Not only are we going to join, not only are we going to get this and do what I have to do, I'm going to show them that I can do it. Right. But really talking to myself. I'm going to show you, Pietra, looking in the mirror, that I can do this. And it was really, really good. I love some of the comments that came up talking about within the chat as far as just not having to be perfect, but just really finding the flexibility to do things. I started to make lists. And when I felt overwhelmed, I said, okay, God, help me today. What direction do I need to take? And just kind of stepping back and allowing myself to somebody said, take a deep breath and not get so overwhelmed. And then just go back into it, walk away for a minute, go back in. And it's so funny because it sounds so simple, right? It's like, oh, okay, you could do that. But when you have a whole team doing it, when you have a whole community just really focused on doing what they need to do by the end of the year, I felt the passion. I felt the love. I felt the energy, not even knowing these people. I felt that we were all doing it together. So it really, really, really helped me. So just prioritizing and getting stuff done, writing it down, making it plain on what I had to do really, really helped me. So I do have a few other things that I need to do by the end of the year, but I'm good. I feel great.
Yeah. So you didn't feel beat up. Did you feel helped and supported and actually seeing discipline in a new light?
Absolutely. I didn't see it as a negative thing. I was like, this is what somebody say, cream peas, #cream peas. I was like, okay, I have to go ahead and incorporate that with my beef or with my chicken and kind of stir it up and eat it all at the same time and not just necessarily eat it by itself. So it was really helpful to look at it that way.
Yes. Because sometimes we just got stuff on our plate we don't like.
Yes, we just don't want to do it.
Right? So transitioning with you as well. So you were just in the last masterclass intensive and you are a very high functioning hospitality executive. You're busy. You have to strategize and make plans for other people, for their hotel. Like you have a busy piece in the industry. How did the masterclass with other leaders help you or affect your life?
Wow. The master class was incredible. Sometimes you go through life and you're doing you. And my whole thing was, I'm a helper of others. I'm a doer. I'm going to get it done for everybody. I want to be that go-to person. I'm like, I'm that at my job, at my church. But what I realized is that I was helping others at my expense. So there was no time for my wish list, for my things that I needed to get done, for my business that I just launched, for even at times my home life. So I had to see that I was a voluntary servant, and literally putting myself last. So within this class, and the crazy part about it, I didn't know that until I took the class. I thought I was good, but not knowing and understanding and realizing my value as an employee, what I was worth in the job, what my value at my church, the weight that I carry in my home, and in who's looking at me and who's looking up to me. And it allowed me to really step back and understand and be okay with choosing myself first, choosing my peace, choosing my overall well-being, and being okay with that. And then not necessarily always being so accessible or available to others who only desired my attention because of what they got out of it. So it was life-changing. Just like Tambu said, it was absolutely life-changing. I've actually told already like 4 or 5 people. I sent the link because I was like, there is no way that you cannot take this class. And I think it was so impactful because I tend to talk about it everywhere I go. I just was on a Caribbean cruise. I met 3 strangers and I was talking to somebody else and they started listening in, and I'm sharing things that I got from the class. And I was like, no more, I'll send you the link because you need to take the class. It was fantastic.
Yes, let's stay together. That's beautiful. So now, what did that look like? Because I heard you say your home life, and I, as a mother and a wife, understand that sometimes when we switch up, it can be rough, but we also begin to set a different example for our children.
Yeah, and a different tone.
Highlight or share that a little bit. You can.
Sure. Not to go into too much detail, but it was, I'm so grateful for level-headed children, for children who, my kids who are just, I think they're just beyond their years, understanding that mom is now guarding her peace. Mom is now allowing us to be free within your own space. Mom is not going to always make that phone call to the doctor. Mom is not always going to be here. And that it's okay to go ahead and do what I have to do, knowing she's there for me, but she will now not do it for me. She's with me. She's there when I need her, but I have to step out on my own. And that was tough. That was tough. Just guarding my peace and just being quiet when normally I'm incredibly vocal. And them not understanding why I was taking the stance that I was taking. But after a long conversation with my family, they understood that, okay, I get it. You were guarding your heart. You were guarding your peace. So it was so refreshing to see, so refreshing to live through, so refreshing for both my family. And then, sometimes my husband still, he's like, well, this journey that you're on, it's not, this is me, babe. It's okay. We'll take baby steps. We'll take one bite at a time. You're still my favorite, but I choose me. I choose me. And me, I'm such an incredibly giving person. I'm always going to be there for anyone in my family, but I just have to prioritize how that looks going forward.
And I guess the last question in that arena is, how has that affected you mentally, emotionally? How has that affected your overall well-being as a mother, as a person? How has that benefited you?
It's been an incredible journey to just be at peace, to feel okay with the decisions that I am making currently, that I would continue to make and stand by. I feel free. like I said, my husband just kind of freaked out a little bit. He's like, oh, no, this is this new you. And it's so funny because it is a new me. And I am continuing to transition. I'm still the same old Pietra, but it's just the light it's been reflective of, my, I don't know, everybody else. And now that I had to move that dimmer to me, right? And so now that I'm the main focus, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
It is refreshing. Yeah.
Who can't use a little refreshing these days?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it feels really good. And I appreciate my family for just being so loving and supportive and understanding that it's time for growth. It's time for growth, even at my age. It's we can always grow and we can always learn. So this challenge, the masterclass, incredible.
Thank you. Do you suggest it? Do you recommend it?
Of course. Like I said, I complete strangers. I was like looking them up on Facebook, and I sent them the link because they were overhearing me talk. So I was like, I'm not going to give away too much. Let me go ahead and just get you the link. And I appreciate. So definitely, I don't necessarily, just like Timbu said, I don't necessarily suggest it. It's a requirement. And for others that did take the class, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a lawyer, but I am a leader, and we all are, even if it's just within our home. So definitely being able to take this class should be a requirement.
Thank you so much, Pete. I know you have to get back to your busy schedule and meetings. I thank you for squeezing the time to come in and talk to us and share your experience. All right.
Appreciate you for having me. Thank you, guys.
All right. Okay, I am, it's moving along, and I'm really I'm listening to the people that have gone through the class. Just to give you a little detail on the structure of it, all of the classes are small. The classes are not bigger than 15 people because they are an intensive and they are a personalized mastermind group where you get to be heard, you get to be seen. There's no hiding. Was that our hashtag, no hiding in this discipline challenge, where you will be pushed. You will be pushed in some uncomfortable ways, but the push is not designed to embarrass you, is not designed to make you feel out of place. It is designed to push you into right alignment, to push you into some spaces of clearing and clarity in order to clear out whatever blocks. Again, like as you heard Pietra say, she didn't even realize that she was having an issue, but in taking the class, she was stretched and able in a way that actually is benefiting her and making her her life just better. Her quality of life is better because she is able to set boundaries. She is able to speak and stand in her power, in her proper position, and say, hey, this is me and I'm okay with it. And I'm okay if you're not okay with it, but I'm okay with it. And we're going to proceed. So I definitely love hearing from them and sparking the memories and the conversations that we had. We laugh a lot because I love to laugh. We spend our time, it's again, it's a 7-week period of time, 1 day a week for 2.5 hours in the evening. We get together, we are on Zoom, we talk, we get it out, we hash it out, and we grow together. And by the end of the 7th week, every person has their own personal manifesto that they've created. It's not there's no click and copy. There's no templates. There's no do it like somebody else in it. It is a very individualized journey that you're taking with a group of individuals, and you're bonding and you're finding your own personal accountability partnership within the group. So inside the group, you also be stacked. Like you'll get your pod of 3 people who are your accountability partners that you're going to go through the process with to also keep you. So there's an exterior level of accountability and an interior level of accountability that will help you to manage and to go through. Like in this challenge, I encouraged people to pick partners, to pick accountability people who will keep you in the race, because it's not easy to do, and it's not meant to do alone. So I again encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link up. I'll put a link up in just a little bit. My next guest is from South Africa. Again, I don't know if we're going to be able to see her on video. I only have two. There's only two more people after this, and then we're going to close out and do prizes. I'm going to reward some people for some things. I hope that I can see her because they were having load shedding, but she's here. Unmute your mic, love.
Hey.
Hey.
It didn't come. They threatened, but it didn't come.
Okay. Welcome. Now, I will do full disclosure, right? This is my dear friend. Now, I didn't stack the deck, guys. These people literally have been through my courses. They have worked with me individually as an advisor. So they can very plainly tell you, I don't show favors. I don't do favorites. I push for everyone to be at their highest because I see each person at their highest and best form. And so Tsesetso is in South Africa. She is closer than a sister to me. She is my friend, my partner, sometimes my student, but in all things, she's very honest and very helpful. So welcome to Tsesetso, and thank you for sharing your time and your journey with us.
Thank you. I haven't been able to listen to the other ones, but coming to this one, even when you came in and you were saying Discipline December, we chuckled at it because sometimes people have the misconception that, and I heard you talk about it earlier, when you're bringing a solution, you've worked through it, but you become the project in the process. And I loved what this Discipline December did for you, not even just when we started it, but even the weeks before, when you were processing it, when you were working it. But what I loved about it is the fact that the content was so rich and challenging. The content was, I love how every day you will challenge us to define something. When you look at somebody coming, I think it was about day 3 or day 4, where you were like, the discipline your body, discipline your spirit, discipline this. And, one of the quotes you said is like, the discipline on your body is not about exercise and food, but it was like more like your mouth, your ears, the things that are very personal to you, discipline your soul, all those things. It was so interesting because I think most of the time when we try to define things, we're very shallow. We take things like, how we play on words. It's like, but what does that mean? What does that mean? So somebody who's seen discipline, they would have thought they understand. But I loved how this challenge showed us the different aspects of discipline. One of my favorite things that I'm taking forward is the first day when you were saying, just because I've managed to swing it, just because I've managed to excel in it, just because I've managed to make it work at school, it doesn't mean I have actually developed or trained up myself for discipline. That is my biggest takeaway, because us who are hard workers, performers, high achievers, we can swing it. We can stay up until 12 o'clock, but then when something prolongs past that time, it's like, what, why is this not going away? Like, why am I supposed to stay there? So that has been my experience. So many takeaways. So I got a lot to say about it, but that is that is my observation about this. I've learned to redefine more than anything. I've learned to redefine and question some things. So what I've learned, even when we did the master class, the one with Dear Leader, you deal a lot with definition of things, and your definitions don't come as ordinary. So you'll be thinking, oh, I understand this, I'm gonna say, and you're like, no. Clean your mind, reset your mind, and come with a clean slate, And I think, as I saw on the comments and around the people, most of us had to redefine. a lot of things that we thought we understood. So from the mastermind, I've learned that you gotta know your identity. Most of us have learned how to exist in already functions, roles that have been given to us. But now that we have to accept and really function with the definitions that we give ourselves, we gotta sit down. That is why master classes and programs are very necessary. You're not gonna be able to do it by yourself. You need accountability. You need people around you to help you to look at those things. So sometimes when you're looking at these masterminds, workshop, webinars, you think you can do it. Being in a group of accountability helps you. And I learned that with that the one that Tiffany has coming in the January, that it helps to belong into a group. It helps with discipline, knowing that at 7 o'clock I have to be here, I have to be somewhere. My schedule revolves around that discipline, not when I think I'm gonna get around to it. I might not get around. The question is, how many things have you signed up for? You thought you were gonna complete by yourself, yet the time comes and the time exceeds and you never get around to it. So get into something disciplined, get into something more focused, and it's going to help you. What is it like working with Tiffany? Oh my goodness. I always tell her I am biased. And I'm not ashamed of it. So, what is it like working with Tiffany at a closer level? There's a lot of unlearning that you have to do. Many of us have to unlearn a lot of things. Then, after that, you have to learn things. Then, after that, you have to relearn some of the things. That's what it's like. So, she's going to challenge you to unlearn. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? And you're going to be like, unlearn that, unlearn that. And then she's going to say, learn this. This is what you got to do. This is your way forward. Thank you, Pietra. This is how you do it. This is how you connect. And then after that, she's like, oh, that you need to relearn this because it fits together. So if you've never worked with her, I always say to her, I can listen to her every day, any day. And I think the experience here has taught us that she has something to say. Let us stop paying people who have nothing to say and they're taking our money. Invest in something that is going to change. This is not a groupie. This is not a collective. This is not just something. This is personal. This is direct. This is about self-development, this self-reflection, self-introspect. So this, if you've never done anything for yourself, the mastermind that is coming up in January, you can do it for yourself and start your year strong. And my friend, I can say that forever, but you unlearn, you learn, and you relearn. And no matter what's going to happen, you're definitely going to flourish. You're definitely going to go forward. So that's my encouragement. I've done it, and everything that she has coming up, I'll probably be part of it because I love being part of it. Thanks, my friend.
Yes, I listen. She is my friend who, when I cry, she wipes my tears. When I'm laying down and I don't want to get up, she kicks me. But I also do that for her. And the thing is, she is not just a pastor. Like, she's not called to a pulpit. She's called to pulpit. So earlier this year, she was in Congo, she was in Malawi, she was in Mali, she was all over the place, right? Country. She did a tour. And she said, you can tell them you took the masterclass before you went on your tour, and there was something about speaking that you had said and what it showed you to be able to go on that tour and be in that space. Do you remember?
No, you can remind me.
To be able to be in these places, she was there with dignitaries. She was there with heads of states and countries. And she said that being in the masterclass where we talked about identity and got really clear about purpose and impact and what we do and who we influence, it allowed her to walk strong and tall with people she hadn't been in Congress with before, and to be like, I belong here. Yes? Am I exaggerating?
No, you are not. That's why I'm nodding my head, because I'm like that you speaking to exactly something that shifted in the mastermind for me, because when you have not dealt with it privately, the the exhibit in front of you can be very overwhelming. But because of the mastermind, I was able to answer very, very challenging questions. What is the reason you are in that room? And I was a first speaker traveling outside my country, going to another African country. I was the first speaker opening up this big conference. But I remember feeling like, why are you here? What is your purpose? What is your influence? What is your impact? What are you bringing into the room? You're not trying to find yourself, but you're here because they saw something and you are bringing it on. So sometimes that's why I'm saying it's not a groupie. I want to emphasize that even the questions that she had in this challenge, you will see that even if we all answer, we are answering from different spaces. And it's very important that somebody gives you a space. We always speak about spaces. We create safe spaces for people to cry. We create safe spaces for people to find themselves. And if the mastermind had not created a space for me to find myself, I probably would have gotten there and been very anxious about something or the other. But I never had the internal conversation. I was good. I was okay.
Yes. Of course, I could talk to you all day and all night. And I love to see life in action, right? It's no secret, we talk. When I first met her, she was my student. Then she became my friend. Then she became my teacher. And now we just kind of go back and forth. And it's the beauty of we have the relationship that it's always honest. It's always transparent. If I do something she doesn't like, she says it. If she does something I don't like, I say it. If she sees me falling down, she goes, no, 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 let's straighten it. But she also gives me the space to breathe and tell her why I don't feel like I can do it or why there's an issue. And so to be able to be in this space when I know that when I first met her, one of the first things I did was I threw her on the stage and she was like, huh, wait, what? And I was like, you're going to talk today because you have something to say. You're going to talk today. And she was like, but I'm not. But I said, you have everything you need. And when I tell you, she did the most amazing job. Were you scared?
Yes.
Go from a terrified person to speak on a stage to only, a few later to be on stages all around the country talking about, I'm here, love me, I know what I'm doing, I'm bringing the business, you go, you ready? It's an amazing thing. And these are the things that I dream and I wish for all of us, for any person that I come in contact with, if I have the ability to help you to register and see the things that about yourself that you weren't able to register on your own, I will do it. Yeah. And so, like I said, we could do this all day, but I want to let you go before your load shedding catches up to us. I appreciate you for coming on. And
beautiful work.
Yes.
Beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, there's just a couple more people who are going to give you their experience, and then we are going to wrap this up, give away the prizes, and then hopefully I will see you in class in January. I'll answer any questions and I'll do some stuff. So hold on. I'm adding Miss Sean. Are you ready, Sean? Okay.
Hello, everybody. Just for being late. I got called in a meeting, Tiffany, at 12 o'clock.
It's okay.
So
it's okay.
How's it? Are you doing okay today?
Yes, I'm good, my darling. So we are just kind of everybody's sharing their experience, like what was the takeaway from the challenges. But I know for you, I have you've taken my masterclass, and I've done some work with you one-on-one, and we're doing more work on the spiritual side. So there's that aspect of working with me that I didn't bring up. But I just would like for you to share your experience with the class, with me, and just what you think the takeaways and what people can gain from being there.
Okay. I'll be more than happy to do so. So I was able to take, I was blessed to be able to take Tiffany's master class. And with the master class, I had seen and had been in a lot of classes where, it's on a master level. Her class was the first class that I could say I truly felt as if there was a push, a higher sense of thinking, perspective, a challenge to go higher. I've been in classes where you come away with some nuggets, but she challenged me, I can say for myself, to think outside the box. She challenged me to not to conform to what I had already learned or been taught, to limit myself, but to take it to another level. So she challenged me to challenge myself, which I like that about her class, because a lot of times you sit in a class, you get information, you take notes, they ask you a couple of questions, and then they release you. With Tiffany and I have established a relationship where I don't just limit it to the masterclass we took. I value her insight, her input spiritually, but I also value it as far as challenging myself professionally to go to the next level and what that looks like. So for a lot of masterclasses, you don't get that hands-on, and I felt like in the leadership masterclass, we did get hands-on. It was a setting where it was a class setting, but via Zoom, but we also had the chance she worked with us individually. So as we answered things, she called on certain people to answer questions. She called on certain people to share experiences. And as you shared your experiences, as you shared your insight, she listened. And she to me, listening, a lot of people don't take the time to listen to you. They have a class, they have a script, so to say, they have things planned out, and they want to stick to that. Not that she didn't, but she did allow room and grace for your experiences, and just for her to kind of like shift your mindset regarding your experiences. And so some things that I felt like were, I won't say they were bad things, but I looked at them as they were challenges. And so she acknowledged that they were challenges, but have you ever thought that this challenge was used to propel you to here, or to make you think here? And so it made you think about your experiences that you had, and you were able to take away from like the fight or the war that you had in those experiences. You were able to come out after listening to after she listened to you, she gave you perspective from, okay, now you have an arsenal. Now you have weapons to use for the next battle you go into. And now you have the experience. So she equated a lot of my challenges as experiences to break the ground for, something new or a higher level of thinking when it came to seeing challenges a different way. So you don't always feel like a challenge is something that's meant to hurt you, or you're going to fail at it. She was able to shift my perspective that even however I handled the challenge, okay, what could you have done differently? What was your takeaway from it? And to grow from the challenges that I had. And so now I go to her a lot with different facets of my life: professional, kids, personal level, spiritual level, even just some things that I want to achieve and do, and to put that in perspective, or to get clarity on it and direction on which way to go. Because a lot of times we dismiss ideas, we dismiss leadership, because no one tells you what that looks like. No one gives you a guide to kind of shift you in the direction that you need to go. And a lot of times, sometimes you're not even recognized and called a leader, but you're put into a leadership role. And so to identify that you are a leader and this is what a leader does, it was awesome that she broke that down for me.
Oh, Sean, you said a mouthful. Thank you. I'm listening. I'm like, oh, girl, that's what happened. That's what happened for real. So I like that you said that it was challenged, but you felt heard. I think that's a very important thing. That's why the class sizes stay small. It's a master class. It's not about quantity; it's about quality. Because I could do 100, and then who am I going to be able to talk to? How many people are going to get missed? And because I don't believe in hiding, because there was no hiding, right?
No, ma'am, not at all.
It's come on screen so we can see you, so we can see your face, so you can be
Yeah.
present.
Yes, yes.
It was very confronting,
Mhm.
but not embarrassing.
Right.
I would say.
It was a
And
safe. It was a safe space.
okay,
You wanted.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad that you had that experience and that helped you. So, one last question.
Mhm.
Besides, would you tell people to take it? What, since you've taken the class, is there a tangible thing that has changed or shifted for you since the class?
Oh my gosh, yes. So one aspect, and well, two that comes to mind. Value. Oh my God, that was so huge for me. Because no one ever teaches you. You have, well, I won't say that. I'll say in my experience, I wasn't taught my value. And so because I wasn't taught my value, I accepted a lot of things that I should not have accepted, because I did have value. And with the value, it comes a different level of knowing, a different level of identity. So what you take from someone, you don't necessarily take it in the next season. And also, another thing that was very profound for me is the voices that you were listening to that shaped your value. And so, and shaped you into leadership. Like, whose voice are you listening to in your life? Whose voice I had to trace back to, some of my failures. Like, were they my failures, or were they because someone else's voice was speaking louder than what God had said concerning me, or what I knew to be true concerning myself?
Oh, I love that. 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 And these are tangible things that you can take in your personal, your business, and social world, right?
Yes, definitely. And they're very valuable, because when you learn your value, it's a lot of stuff you will no longer take or accept. And you won't take certain limitations that I did. I let people put me inside a box. And so Tiffany was the first person to make me realize. I was like, but I don't do things like that and that. And then I have it's several things I like to do. And she was like, why are you letting people put you in a box? You're not that person. You're not that. You got to come outside the box. You got to stop letting people limit you. They don't understand your gifts, or they don't understand your value. So they want to limit you to their understanding. And so it was like, oh God, that was so good to me.
Oh, I'm so happy, Sean. And I just appreciate you. And yeah, we got to follow up
Yes.
Session for some work we're doing now. So I'm planning on that.
Yes.
But, I look forward to it, and thank you for sharing your experience.
I thank you for being the person that you are, because without you being real, like I can't, I work better with someone like you because you're real and you don't sugarcoat things. It just is what it is. And it's like, okay, so once you find out what our is, you work around it and you speak to it, and you don't dance around it. So I love your transparency. I love the fact that you don't let us off the hook. You don't take any excuses. And if you fail, it's only because you want to fail, not because you are not there to help us. So that was good for me. That was good.
Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. All right, honey. I love you. Thank you. Talk to you soon. All right. So we're seeing, I hope that if you're watching this, that you're seeing the benefits, not just of the challenge, right? The challenge was to set some foundational things and to get us together for the end of the year, like I said, and to move forward into the next year, but also the next steps, the things that can shift your life from 2023 on, moving into the next realms of understanding who you are, understanding your value, and moving into a space where your life has been transitioned, right? So the very last person that's going to come on is Miss Flower. Flower, where you at? Where you be? Hey.
Hey, love.
So this is Miss Flowers. She has very graciously been helping with the live stream and putting your comments and things up. And she actually was in my very first master class.
Oh, yeah.
I will say the very first master class was intense, but it wasn't as intense as this master class. So even then, you guys said it was pretty a push. So share with us what happened to you in the class.
Oh, goodness.
How we filter in with all this.
I would say the class, because when you're dealing with leaders, it's like we a lot of times we're already set in our ways, we're already set in our belief systems and how we flow, right? And so the class really caused me to pause and to think and to to reevaluate some things as I was creating my manifesto, and to be, I think someone said it earlier, to just be extremely clear. Because sometimes when you are a leader, you got to watch your words. You want to be politically correct. Sometimes you want to, depending on the audience or the room that you're in, for me, I find myself having to adjust a lot. But coming out of the class, it was like, no, I'm going to be very clear. And, whoever is for my tribe, they're for me. Whoever my clients are, they're for me. And by me being clear, it will clear out the people who are not supposed to, who are not supposed to work with me, or who are not supposed to partner with me.
Well, just a little background on Miss LaFlower. Listen, I am every woman. Like, she is a serial entrepreneur. She got about 4-5 businesses, and she got, how many kids you got?
We have 9 kiddos.
Okay, so she's a very busy professional. A very busy entrepreneur, because she's like, her businesses got businesses. And I often admire, I truly admire how she is able to function and move and dedicate and move stuff. And so to be in league with a person who obviously knows how to get things done, but to bring this caliber of person into a space where they're still able to consider, reflect, and shift some things in order for their walk to be better, I think it says a lot about the work, and how it's always amazing to me that everybody's in the same room, but everybody gets different answers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just what else? Why did I lose my questions for you, Flower? Like, you just like this one here, like, no, when you talk about a superwoman, I'm like, well, what? She just does everything. And so she has I had the opportunity of walking with her. She's another one of my faith partners, my sister, and just to see, what have you seen? I'm gonna ask you a different question, because you observe, you get to watch and see not just me, but so what have you seen has happened to people? Because a couple other people who took the class. What were you able to witness that maybe they didn't even know that you saw transform in after taking the class?
That's a good one. That's a really good one. I think when you watching other people take the master class, it's really fun to watch people have to own their words. Because you have to own your words. Like, you're just not out there, and we know there's everybody talking and all of this stuff. But when you're in the master class and you have those accountability partners, and it's, those are so very important, to have someone hold you accountable for your words, because it's easy to talk a good game, but are you going to walk it like you talk it? Are you going to be a woman or a man of your word? And so, it was one individual, I love her dearly. She was in the class, and she had written something down on her manifesto. She had written something down on her goals. And even though that was months ago, she still knew she needed to complete that before the end of the year. And so she was like, I said it in the class. I gotta get this done. And the thing was, she had to do her first Facebook Live, her first live solo live thing on social. And she was like, I said it in the class that my voice is everything. God has given me this voice and I'm gonna do it. So watching others evolve and own their words has been, it's really been fun and beautiful to be able to do that.
Oh, I like that. Like months ago, and she's like, I still got this. I gotta get it done, get it done. So that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that question was special just for you because I know you will see people from a standpoint of, okay, I watched you grow, I watched you move. And so you are the final frontier. So you can stay on screen or go off because now we're just going to give away fabulous gifts and prizes.
I'll go off and be ready to hop in the comments. I love you guys. Definitely take the next step. You will not regret it. It is so it's so important that we continue to progress. Like the discipline challenge was just the beginning, but progress into the next level by joining this class. All right, bye y'all.
All right. Thank you. All right. So the moment we've all been waiting for. And again, this is I don't draw stuff out. Like I'm not going to hype y'all up. I'm not going to pump you up. I gave you the information I had. I let you see people in real time who share their testimonials. Now the rest is up to you. That's the way I work in the class. That's the way I work in life. You can say what you want to say, but what are you going to do? Right? That's it. I really hope that you have gained something from this challenge that makes you want to go to the next steps. Again, it's a 7-week masterclass that the first session begins on January the 11th. And it's 1 day a week. It's 2.5 hours on that 1 day a week. And in 7 weeks, your life will be changed. That's the best I could tell you. You've heard it live and in color. The normal price for this masterclass is $797. But for those that are in this group who have taken this challenge, who have taken the steps of being here, I am offering a special price until the end of December, which is $497. So that's $300 off, only until the end of December. Because like y'all, I had it rough this year. So $497 until December 31st, more or less. And you can do one full payment or you can do 2 payments. Break it up. You get 2 payments or 1 full payment. Now, for those of you who have heard the information and who are ready to do it now, you're ready to make that move. If you purchase the class by Thursday within the next 72 hours, which is 3 days, if you purchase the class, the master class, in the next 72 hours, then you'll get an additional 10% off and the price of the class will only be $425. So I suggest that you get it and you move on it. There's no need to question. This is one of those things that you don't have to wonder if you're going to get your money's worth, if you're going to get the value, if it's real, if it's, if it's smoke and mirrors, if somebody is pulling your leg, if they're going to send you, if they're going to give you something, they're going to charge you high and give you something that you're like, oh, you should have gave this for free. It's none of that. It's none of that. You ready to change and take 2023 by storm? Get in the class. You have any questions, you'll be able to ask questions in the group. But that is that. And so I want to say I've appreciated everybody for joining, and I had to figure out ways to give away gifts and prizes, and it wasn't easy. But I do have for the most engagement. And for the most engagement, I don't know if she's on here now, but I'm very sure she'll be in the replay because she always taps replay and lets me know. But for the most engagement is Sonia LaFontaine. So Sonia, you'll get the scholarship worth $797. You get a scholarship to the January class. So you are going to attend the class that starts on January the 11th at no charge. So you have scholarship. I have from prayer to promise cards. All right. These are the ones I said were one of the gifts. The prayer cards with the 40 names of God. Oh, you can't see it really good. 40 names of God. And then 80 Bible promises. They're scriptural Bible promises. And this is to help discipline your spirit and help you up your prayer life. It also comes with these beautiful postcards and envelopes, right? So that one is going to go to Miss Jonisha Green. Joe, you got the prayer to promise cards. Your engagement was also very high, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prayer to promise cards. Now I have to go back through the notes, and I'm thinking, because a lot of people are in here with some stuff, but there I will put it in the chat later on, but there are 2 of these that will be coming to someone. That is a journal and a copy of the Dear Leader book. And then there is one more scholarship. I have to go back and look at engagement. So what I would like is for those of you that have taken the class, or I'm sorry, that have taken this challenge, there's one more challenge, and that is to type on the page your takeaways and why you want to take the masterclass. That is it. That'll work. Why you want to take the masterclass. Because there's one more scholarship to go, and I will award for that. Again, like I said, I don't stretch anything out. So, Jonisha, I need you to drop your address in back channel, so that we can get your cards to you. Sonia, reach out to me and I'll give you the details for the class. And then for engagement, for that last engagement, what did you take away from the challenge, and why do you want to take the masterclass in January for one more scholarship? And then there'll be some books in there. So it has been real, y'all. It has been challenging, gut-wrenching, tear-evoking. It has been stretching. It has been learning and growing for myself. And I really, really pray that you have taken to heart that this was for you and that you grew, even if it was a little bit. You grew in this challenge, and I encourage you to continue taking steps forward to keep growing, because you're able to. You have everything that you need. And as you step forward, as you grow and shine your light, and you bring your whole self into the world unapologetically, in order and in fashion, you will not only change your life, but you are going to impact the lives of those around you and those who are waiting for you to show up. So with that being said, I say thank you. I say shalom. And it's been real. Stay tuned. Oh, stay looking out for the Wisdom Fountain app. There's a Wisdom Fountain app that will be coming in January. And keep an eye on your mail. You may get something that looks like spam from MailChimp, because that's who I use. Mark your boxes so that MailChimp doesn't go into your spam. But I'll be sending you guys information and updates on upcoming challenges, classes, courses, things that happen. Oh, and that t-shirt that's coming out soon. So I got a couple of them. I thank you, and it has been a pleasure to serve you. Bye.